Welcome back to CTV Morning Live. David Martinek joining us from Recycled Frog. I do want to get really quickly, because we have some more questions waiting on the line, upcoming events, and there's always kind of, you're on the go.
Yeah, every week. We've actually got a fundraising event going on tomorrow in Prescott at the Mayfield Retirement Residence. We're doing that for the local food bank there, so that's going to be all day from 10 until 4 tomorrow. And then we also have events going on this week in Iroquois, so those out in the valley will be out there at the Iroquois Civic Center. And then we're also at the Wakefield Royal Canadian Legion on Wednesday, 16th and 17th.
Okay, so a lot to take in, but the best thing to do is to head to the website, because all of those events, everywhere that you're going to be, will be listed there.
Yep, and there's 50, 60 events every month, so there's a lot of things there.
You can find something that's going to be near you, and we'll be able to benefit everyone that's involved. I do want to get back to the questions. We have a number of callers coming in. I do believe Diane is on the line, calling from Orleans. Diane, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Good morning. What's your question?
Good morning. My question is, I have a lot of silverware that I've inherited over the years, Silver Tea Services, retirement gifts from grandparents and great-grandparents. And I wonder, if I wanted to have them assessed, would I clean them with silver polish first, or bring them in their semi-tarnished state and have you check them out?
That's an excellent question. So what we were sort of alluding to in the previous segment, a lot of people are actually inheriting these things, either sort of doubling what they already have, or simply things that they're never going to use. First answer would be, don't polish it up. It doesn't make sense to polish it up. When you bring it in to us, what we're going to be doing is to assess it for a few different reasons. We want to assess whether there's any estate value to it. Can it be resold? Is it a unique enough set that there might still be demand for it? If that's the case, then we will tell you to polish it up and bring it to a reputable antique dealer who may want to put it on consignment for you and sell it, and you could get a lot more money than the melt value. If it's not a very sort of high demand set, what we're going to do then is test it for its purity to see whether it is in fact solid sterling silver or not. We'll weigh it, and then we'll make you a purchase offer based on the value of silver on the day. So it'll fall into one of those two categories. If it's melt value, don't bother polishing it up. We're gonna buy it for what it's worth for the silver, but it could be worth a lot more.
But the actual aesthetics don't matter to you when someone's bringing you a piece. It doesn't have to look nice, pretty, and shiny for you to actually know the value.
That's right. But if we do deem it to be of an estate value, then we are going to recommend you do a proper polish on it and then bring it to a reputable antique dealer.
Because for that to be able to resell it or to do it in a different way,
they're going to want to see it in pristine condition, and therefore drive the value up, and she may walk away with a lot more money.
But at least you'll know it's worth the time to actually head back and do the polishing, that it's actually going to be worth it. So hopefully that answered your question, Diane. I do want to head now out to Kentville, and I believe Jackie's on the phone. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Great. What is your question?
I have a necklace that's three-tone color, and it says Italian on it and 526, and it's quite heavy. I was wondering if it's worth anything, and what does the 526 mean?
That's interesting. 526 is not a very common, what we call a hallmark for gold. When you're talking about something that's three colors, I typically would think that it would be tricolored gold, so it would be rose, which is more of a pinky, the white, and then the yellow. But the 526 is kind of throwing me off a little bit. 925 is your typical sterling silver. We have some gold stamps would be either 416 would be a common one, 585. So maybe there's some sort of rubbing off that's sort of distorted it a little bit. But what we'll do is actually test it with our resistance tester to see whether it is in fact gold or not. And if it does tell us it's gold, then we can weigh it and determine what we can offer for it.
When you're looking at three different types or three different colors, what happens then? Is it?
Our tester actually tests for yellow, rose, and white gold. So it'll give us an accurate reading regardless of the color. But what we're looking for is the purity. Is it 14 karat? Is it 18 karat? Is it 10 karat? And our tester is going to tell us that, and then we'll weigh it. Typically what would happen with the rose, or sorry, the tricolored, is it would all be 10 karat. Just be different colors, but it would all be 10 karat, or it would all be 14 karat. So that's what we need to know, is what is the purity of the material.
What is the most common gold that we're seeing?
Well, it's
like you assume 24 karat, but that's when you're looking at a higher and a different price point. For the average piece that comes to you?
In Ottawa, typically 65% of everything we buy is yellow gold 10 karat. But you go into certain pockets. You might go out into Iroquois, for example, this week, where there's a much more concentrated ethnic group. Maybe the Germans might be more populous there, and all of a sudden we're falling into more 18-karat yellow gold. But 65% of everything we buy is 10 karat. We don't see a lot of white gold because it's still fashionable. People still want to wear it. We do see it occasionally just because people don't want it anymore for whatever reason. And but it is the yellow gold, the 10-karat yellow gold is the most common.
Interesting. I think a lot of people are kind of maybe going through some drawers, going through the back of some things, looking because they know that there's a lot of items that are hanging around the house. The best part is to check out the website. There's a ton of information, especially too when you're looking at products and the types of things that you think, is this worth making the trip in for? Everything would be listed there. Recycle Frog. The information all listed on the website right there. And location, World Exchange Plaza, Suite 1150 for the home base. And the telephone number there, 755-4030. Check out the website, though. You'll find all the information needed, and you're saying there's 60 events coming
There's
up.
a lot of events.
So it's incredibly busy. David, thank you so much.
Sorry, I'd like to mention one last thing. Prescott, the fundraiser is actually tomorrow, so we're raising money for the Ottawa Food Bank at the Mayfield Retirement Residence, so come on out.
In Prescott, thank you so much. Always a pleasure.